Hello, welcome to a reading. I hope you guys are doing very, very well. Thank you for joining me. So today's reading is the person on your mind. How do they think you feel about them? How do they think you see them? And anything that comes out of me, we'll get some messages from them at the end, okay? So how do they think you feel about them? All right, so there's 3 groups for you to choose from. First group, we have Two of Wands. The second group we have is the Justice card. And the third group, we have the Hermit. Okay, so group 1, group 2, and group 3. If you do want to take a moment to choose your group, go ahead. But I will see you all in your readings, okay? Hello! If you have chosen the first group, the Two of Wands, then this reading is for you, the person on your mind. How do they think you feel about them at the moment? All right, so we do have the Queen of Swords upright, and we do have the Three of Swords in reverse. Okay, so let me just clarify something first. All right, so this person, they don't necessarily feel like you have a problem with them, but they think that you feel coldly towards them, and they think that you feel somewhat indifferent towards them as well. They do think you are guarded, and with the Three of Swords in reverse as well, they do think you are protecting yourself, protecting your heart, maybe your peace, your happiness, or protecting a relationship, maybe a relationship with yourself, or a relationship that you have with someone else. But they do think that you feel defensive towards them. They do think you feel that there's someone who can't have authority over you. And this is almost like they think that you see them as someone who doesn't have like enough pizzazz, to kind of like have authority over you. Or like, for example, they're not someone you would follow or allow to lead you. Like, they could see themselves that way, or they think that you see them that way. For a lot of you, this doesn't seem like it's in a way where they want to have control over you, or it's not in a way where they're actually seeing it as, like, they're not kind of seeing authority as like equal in control in this case, like, to make that clear if anyone wanted to know. But yeah, so they don't think that they can have authority over you, and they don't want to as well. They do think that you feel like they can see through you in a way, not in a negative way. For some of you, they could just think that you feel like they are intuitive, or it could even be like certain interactions that you guys have had with one another. Maybe a reaction for someone, I don't know. But yeah, it could be certain interactions that you guys have had with one another where, I don't know, it could just be like their eye contact, like, I don't know, maybe it's like kind of piercing or intense, but they think that you feel like they can see through you, but it doesn't feel like it's in a negative way at all. But anyways, but having said that, they do think that you try to hide yourself from them, or that you want to hide yourself from them, or a part of yourself. They do think your heart has hardened as well, not necessarily because of them, but definitely because of your past. I guess it could depend on how, new this person is in your life. Let me see, actually. For some of you, yeah, if you have, with the World card, if you have been through a lot with this person, then they could think, I can't remember what we was talking about. yeah, so they could think that your heart has hardened because of them. Like, especially if you have been through like a lot with this person with that world card, been from like A to Z with this person. But if this is a newer person, then they think it's because you have been through a lot in past, relationships and kind of like situations and stuff like that. But they think that you feel like they're quite strong. They think that you feel like they're not talkative in general or with you. And they may also think that you get the impression that they don't want to talk to you specifically. For some of you, they could think that you feel like it's awkward, like something between you both is awkward or talking to you is awkward. And this next message isn't for everyone, but they could also think that you feel that they are too logical. For some of you, like too stuffy, I don't know, like a bit too, I don't know, like maybe serious or professional might be more appropriate words, but yeah, so they do think you kind of perceive them that way. And they also think that you feel like you want them to leave you alone, like you don't want them to engage you at all. And they do kind of think that you prefer to be left alone or you're wanting to be left alone. Not in general, mainly when it comes to them. They think that you feel like they aren't vulnerable enough with you, maybe open. And, despite there being a disconnect or them feeling like you feel there's a disconnect, or maybe there's a very obvious and apparent disconnect between you two, despite that, they actually think that you feel safe with them. Maybe not entirely, but to some degree, they do feel like you feel safe with them. And they think that you feel like they are quite guarded and independent as well. And they may even think that you both are quite similar in certain ways, and that you may mirror each other as well. But they do think that you feel like they're a good person and, quite strong, if I haven't said so already. And they do think you've been hurt a lot, and this impacts how you feel about them and possibly kind of like moving forward with them in some way. For some of you, they could feel like the fact that you have been hurt a lot just impacts your emotions in general. But they kind of get the feeling that you're leaving them out, or they think that you want to leave them out. But they also kind of think that you see them as like very unique as well. But yeah. So I'm just going to get some more cards. How do they think you feel about them? So I'm going to use some of these cards, and then I will use my other deck to get some messages from them to you, okay? How do they think you feel about them? So for some of you here, like they do think that you may feel like a bit conflicted about them, a bit indecisive. They may even think that you're a bit hot and cold with them as well. All right, so we have disrespectful. We'll see what that's about. How do they think? What are we doing? How do they think you feel about them? So for a lot of you here, they actually think that you feel like maybe disrespected by them. Maybe something that they did or something that they said, maybe even like something unintentional, like maybe you kind of read a certain situation in a way where they were being disrespectful to you, and that's kind of like how they think you feel. We also have particular. So this is actually coming out as like a type, like they think that you feel like they have a particular type. For a lot of you here, actually, they actually think that you feel like, they think that you feel you're their type, sorry. Like they think you think that you're their type. Okay, yeah. Like there's a part of them that does feel like you both are very different, but at the same time very similar, you know? So they either think that you feel like they are quite intense, or they think that you feel like something in their life is pretty intense. They may even think, let me see. But yeah, for some of you here, they do think that you feel like your connection to them is intense. Or maybe that's the way they feel. But for a lot of you, they do think you feel the same way. So we also have gentle. How do they think you feel about them? So they, you know, they do, even though they think you feel like they come across as very strong and independent, they also think that you feel and see them as gentle. I know soft came out as well. So they do think you see them as gentle, as soft. Maybe not completely vulnerable, but someone that, you know, I think that message came out earlier, someone that you do feel safe around or could feel safe around, even if you guys aren't all the way there yet. You know, they feel like you see them that way. And finally, I'm going to get some more cards, some messages from them. But we also have supportive. How do they think you feel about them? So they either think you feel supported by them, or they think you feel like you could be supported by them, or they kind of just think you feel like they're a supportive person in general, even if it's not like completely directed towards you at the moment. For some of you here though, they think that you feel supportive of them, like you support them. Like you feel like they're a decent person, you know? So now I'm going to get some messages from them to you. So I haven't heard this song for years, but it just came to my head. I don't even remember it, what the song is called. Lost Without You. I think Justin Timberlake sings it. I could be wrong. No, it's not. It's like Robin Thicke or something like that. I can't remember, but Lost Without You, for some of you, there could be a message in that song, because I've literally not heard that song for like 10 years, but it came to my head. Anyways, I might play it after this reading actually. But anyways, so yeah, how do they feel about you? Get some more cards out. How do you feel about you? Okay. 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 So we have balls deep first. How do they feel about you? So the message that's actually coming out with this one is kind of, so they feel like they don't, they feel like someone else is being intimate with you. Let's just put it that way, okay? But yeah, that's how they feel. Like they do feel like, you know, especially again depending on the situation between you both, like whether this is someone new, whether this is an ex, they feel like someone else is tapping that ass, okay? That's how they feel. So we also have this connection will forever affect me. So they definitely feel as though you have left your mark on them. They don't necessarily feel it that other way. They don't feel like they've left a mark on you. They may even think that you feel like they're replaceable, or they think that you feel like they could be replaceable. But you have definitely left like an imprint on them, you know? Like they may even feel like you've changed them in a way, like changed their perspective. It could be in a very small way, like change the way I saw, you know, something in particular, you know. So we also have accountable. So how they feel about you is that you're accountable in some way. This doesn't really feel like a situation where they feel like you're holding yourself accountable. Maybe they, again, like depending on where you're at with this person, they could feel like you're someone who just would hold yourself accountable in general, you know? But I don't know why, it's just coming out as they feel like you're accountable. I don't know in what way. Let me see actually, in what way do they feel like you're accountable? For some of you, this could be referring to finances, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Four of Pentacles. So I don't know, for some of you, this could be in terms of like, I don't know, like budgeting or something else financially related that you could be aware of. But yeah, they do feel like you are accountable. Accounts as well, account. I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe some of you work in finances, and you know, if this person doesn't know you very well, maybe that's what they feel like you do. Or maybe they kind of just feel like you're good with money anyway. Anyway, so the next card we have is less piss off the neighbors, don't hold back. How do they feel about you? So they do feel like you are holding back with them, or they feel like that's kind of like been a theme in your relationship to them. They do feel like they've been holding back with you as well. So we also have, is it bad that I've never made love? How do they feel about you? So for some of you, they do feel bad that they're not, I don't know if feeling bad is the right word. Do they feel bad actually? So for some of you, I don't know, again, feel bad doesn't really feel like the right word, but it feels like they have noticed or have realized, like, especially if this person is logical and they aren't very emotional, aren't very romantic, like they do feel like it maybe holds them back or holds back, you know, certain aspects of, you know, their relationship to you, or maybe even their relationships in general, you know. We also have, I've been through some shit. How do they feel about you? So for a lot of you here, actually, they do feel like they are still carrying some baggage. We also have my mind is elsewhere. So it could be their baggage. It could be certain things that they are dealing with or going through right now that they don't feel like they can 100%, concentrate on you or concentrate on a connection to you right now. So we also have, it looks like I'm paying attention, but really I'm mapping out your nakedness in my mind. How do they feel about you? So they do feel like you are very physically attractive. But for a lot of you, they also do feel like it is hard to concentrate when you're around. We also have move on. So for some of you, I mean, again, depending on where you're at with this person, they either feel like you have moved on from them, if this is like an ex or someone you used to be with in that way. But if this is like someone new, they kind of maybe just feel like you aren't really interested in the first place. And finally, we have I've waited too long and now the joke is on me. So this actually feels like the other way around. Like they do feel as though you misjudged them as opposed to like them misjudging you. But there's no joke, they don't feel like the joke's on you because you may have misjudged them. They could feel like you were wrong, but it's not like the joke's on you, it doesn't really feel like that. But it feels like they almost feel like confused about you. But it feels like they try to put it out of their mind more than anything else. Because if they could, like, they do think about you a lot, but they try not to. But anyways, that is what I have for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it could resonate. I do hope it could be helpful. But yeah, I'm wishing you the best, all right? Take care. Bye. Hello, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen the Justice card, then this reading is for you. The person on your mind, how do they think you feel about them? And then we will grab some messages at the end for how they are feeling about you at the moment. Okay, so how do they think you feel about them? All right, so let me see actually. All right, so they think that you feel like they have no direction, and that they don't want direction. And they think that you feel like they are just wanting to enjoy the moment, enjoy the present. They think that you feel like they don't have intentions for the future. Mainly in terms of relationships, mainly in terms of like where you're concerned. They think that you feel like they don't really have intentions for the future. They think that you are in love with them, but feeling a bit hopeless about the future and about, prospects between you both as a couple. They do think that you feel blocked by them and possibly hindered, like they're maybe stopping you from moving on or preventing you from doing something with yourself, or moving forward in some way. This could be preventing you in other ways that you are more aware of. And I feel like in this case, like with the Two of Wands and the Chariot, like they both have very like similar and simple messages in this reading. Like in the upright, it represents feeling determined, planning, moving forward, ambition, you know. But in reverse, it symbolizes delays and not feeling motivated and, you know, not planning or not taking any action. So I don't know. It just feels very similar in energy. So they also think that you feel a loss of motivation where they're concerned, or they think that you're kind of like, yeah, they think you're even feeling that way already. You're definitely headed down that path, you know. They think that you want something new and like you're kind of like desperate for things to change. Not that you're desperate, but you're just kind of really wanting things to change between the two of you. And, you know, even though they think you feel that way, they do think you're feeling at a loss about how that change is going to come about, you know. They do think you feel upset with them. They think you fear a negative change happening between the both of you as opposed to a positive one, which is something that they think you want, but they feel like you fear is kind of going in the other direction, you know. And, you know, considering where you both are at, they do feel like you are, they think you feel the need to hold back right now. You know, they think you feel like they aren't making the wisest decisions, like they aren't making the most sensible decisions. Do they think? They may even think that you feel like you haven't made the wisest decisions where they're concerned, or you're worried about not making the best decisions. And they also think that you feel like they're being purposely like difficult, like purposely not wanting to move forward, and, you know, just causing frustration and stress in maybe other ways as well. Like they think you think that they're doing it on purpose, you know. They also think that you feel unsure of what's next between you both, and they do think you feel nervous as well. They could think you feel nervous around them, or just think you feel nervous about the future, or where you both stand with each other right now. All right, so we have relaxed. So they think you feel like they're not taking something seriously. They may even think that you feel like they're not taking you seriously. Like they may think that you feel like they're just kind of like too nonchalant. When they think you feel like they're too nonchalant when they should be more action oriented, like more energetic, or you know, more, I don't know, just have more energy, whereas maybe they think they feel that you see them as kind of like not showing enough or having enough energy or motivation to make something happen with you. So we also have proud. How do they think you feel about them? This feels like it's more so referring to the past. Like they don't necessarily think you feel proud of them right now, but they think that you used to feel proud of them. With the Emperor here. So yeah, they may think you don't feel that way anymore, but that you used to. We also have Goofy. How do they think you feel? Yeah, so that was clarified by the Fool. So for some of you, they could actually think that you feel like they're quite foolish, like kind of silly, like just not being serious, you know. So it doesn't have to be like any hurtful words. For some of you, it could be like they do think you feel like they are just being goofy, not serious, like taking the piss, really, you know. Like this isn't like in a funny way at all. Like Five of Swords, Five of Wands came up earlier as well. Like Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So this goofy is definitely not in a funny way. So yeah, they do think that you feel like they aren't serious. They may even think that you feel like they're a bit of a disappointment. Like they're creating like maybe a nightmare for you or with you. We also have unfriendly. So they don't necessarily think you are unfriendly towards them. They definitely think you aren't happy with them though. And finally, we have intense. So they do think you have like intense feelings towards them. Like the word desperate came out earlier. Like again, they don't really think you feel desperate for them, but they do think how you are feeling towards them is like overwhelming, is intense, is frustrating, you know. So yeah, that's how they think you feel. For some, with the devil card, for some of you, they do think you feel like maybe obsessed with them. Very attracted to them as well for some of you. So now I'm going to get messages from them to you. How do they feel about you right now? Or whatever messages come out, really. Okay, so how do they feel about you right now? Thank you very much. Okay, so how do they feel about you? Okay, so we have you impress me more and more each day. So they do feel like you are very impressive. Like they do feel like you are very resilient as well. Knight of Wands. For some of you, this could be something that you do. The moon, it could be something creative, could be something artistic, or it could be maybe just a quality that you have. But they do find you very impressive as well. We also have Will You Wait For Me? Okay. So for some of you, they feel like you will wait for them. For others of you, they kind of hope you will wait for them. For others of you, though, they feel like you want to wait for them. It's like, it seems like they don't really know what they want. Whereas they feel that you're willing to kind of wait until they kind of make up their mind. So we also have your lips are so full and sexy, not to mention lickable, kissable, and Six of Wands. Okay, so they do feel like you are very attractive. For some of you, this is your mouth area specifically. They do feel like you have very beautiful, full and sexy lips. You know, if you have like, you know, kissed this person before, like if you have been in a relationship or you are in a relationship with them, then they love kissing you, you know. We also have this connection will forever affect me. That came out in the previous reading too. It feels like you have made like a big impact on this person and they know you've made a big impact, but it feels like I'm just not ready to jump off that bridge. Like I'm not ready to make that plunge yet, you know, even though you have impacted them and, you know, stuff like that. We have please don't say no, please say yes. So for some of you here, they do feel like they have rejected you, whether, you know, intentionally, unintentionally, or blatantly, or, you know, not forthright kind of way. But they do feel like they have rejected you, or you feel rejected, and they do feel bad about that. We have dishonesty as well. So they actually think that you feel like they were dishonest to you. They don't kind of see themselves as having been dishonest with you though, but they think that you feel that way about them. We also have balls deep. That came out for the previous group too. So they do think that you feel like you guys have a great intimate connection. They feel the same way too. It's that smile for me, it's those eyes for me. So a message about your mouth came out earlier. For some of you, they do feel like you have a beautiful smile, beautiful lips, beautiful teeth. And they do feel like you have a beautiful eyes as well. A beautiful eye. Anyways, we also have keep it real with me, be blunt, clear and honest communication is important to me. So they actually think you feel that way. Like they think that you want them to keep it real with you. They think that, you know, clear and honest communication is very important to you. But they do recognize that they may not be living up to that standard, you know, or giving you what you need in terms of clear and honest communication. And finally, we have passion. So they do feel a lot of passion towards you, you know. They do desire you as well. But a part of them just doesn't really feel ready for whatever reason, you know. But anyways, that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I really do hope it could help. I do hope it could be, make sense and resonate. Only if it's helpful though, you know. But anyways, I'm wishing you all the best. Thank you for joining me and take care of yourselves, okay? Bye. Hello. If you have chosen the Hermit, then this reading is for you. Welcome. Hope you guys are doing good. So, the person on your mind, how do they think you feel about them? All right. And towards the end of the reading, I will pull some cards for how they are feeling about you at the moment too, all right? So we have the Temperance card in reverse. We also have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So how do they think you feel about them? So quite similar to the last group, like not a similar message. Well, I have to wait and see, but you know, with the Temperance in reverse and the Ten of Cups in reverse, it feels like it kind of holds the same like a similar kind of energy to one another, you know? But anyway, so how do they think you feel about them? So they do think that you feel like this experiencing disharmony. I mean, this could be in relation to their family with the Temperance card and Ten of Cups. For some of you, it could be, you know, their circle with the Three of Cups coming out, work, community they're a part of. But they do think that you feel like that they are experiencing disharmony in a certain area of their life. And for some of you, they do think that how you feel about them is influenced maybe by your family and friends. For a lot of you here, they could think that maybe certain people in your circle, your family or your friend group, just doesn't really like them, and they do think you could feel influenced, or your feelings are influenced by how they feel. But anyway, so they do think you feel like you both aren't the most compatible. You know, they may think you don't really see a problem with that though, whereas they're feeling like the differences between you both are a problem or could potentially be a problem down the line, you know. They do think that you would rather ignore the incompatibilities or the differences between you both. They do think that you feel like they are temperamental, maybe very up and down, maybe very hot and cold. They also think that you feel like they have a problem with you. They may think that you feel like you guys can't resolve an issue between you both. Or that's just how they feel. Like they feel like there is an issue between you both that won't be resolved so easily. I'm not sure if I just said this, but they could think that you feel like they have a problem with you. I think I just said that right. And they think that you feel like they've made a rash and impulsive decision about you. They think that you feel like maybe they haven't given you enough of a chance, or maybe they haven't been patient enough with you or with the relationship, you know, you both have. They also think that you feel self-focused or self-interested where they're concerned. They also think that you kind of feel like they're quite selfish as well. They don't think that you're selfish though. You know, even though they do feel like you are, you know, even not entirely, but there's some part of, you know, you are. I don't know how to word this. Like, I don't know. Okay. So they do feel like some of your intentions are self-serving where they're concerned, but they don't necessarily think you're selfish though. So, I mean, for some of you, they either think that you aren't really thinking about them for the most part, like in their perspective, or they think that you are trying not to, you know, think or feel about them as much as you do. So they do think that you feel like they will maybe ruin certain plans that you have. Um, They think that you feel like they will maybe throw something off balance for you or throw you off balance. They do think that you feel like they're being impatient with you, possibly not giving you a chance. They think that you feel like there isn't a nice flow between you both, you know? They do think you feel like they're reckless or being reckless and maybe not grounded in general, or not being grounded where you're concerned. They think that you feel like they are unhappy with you. They also think that you feel like they're trying to relax and trying to heal. And they may think that you feel like you're getting in the way of them healing or them relaxing. They may even, like, they definitely think you see them as being ungrounded right now, but they think you also see them as trying to rectify that and trying to kind of become more grounded and more balanced and more relaxed. They may even think you feel like they're trying to heal from a past situation. That was clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. We have Ten of Cups here, Temperance. For some of you, it could be a past relationship. It could be something going on with someone's family. It does feel like it is a relationship though. It could be like exes in general. But they could still be dealing with like the backlash from a past relationship, and they think that you realize that, and you realize that they are trying to like rectify it, you know? But I think I said this already, but they do think that you feel frustrated with them. Even if they think you feel like you have like some understanding, they do think you are still frustrated by it. They think that you think that they feel indecisive about you. They think you they think that you think they try to argue with you, or try to create a problem with you, maybe out of nowhere. And maybe they did, but either the fact that you think that or the fact that they did, they do feel guilty about it, you know, whichever one they could possibly fall underneath. But they do think that you feel like things would be chaotic and dysfunctional between you both. They think that you do feel overlooked and maybe pushed to the side by them right now. They think that you feel disappointed by them and like they aren't fulfilling you right now. So they also think that you feel, so they either think that you even need time to yourself, or they think that you've made that decision to kind of take a step back and focus on yourself. There was that message earlier that you are kind of, they think you feel like self-interested right now. So this could be just you focusing on yourself. But yeah, so for some of you, they do feel like you are trying to keep your distance from them for a while, or that's something that you want to do. So I'm going to pull some of these cards, and then I will get some messages from them to you, how they're feeling about you right now. So how do they think you feel about them? All right, so we have particular. So they actually think that you feel like they're quite picky. They think that you feel like they're being too picky, maybe like too conscientious, like too critical, maybe too logical about a decision or something. We have relaxed. So yeah, they do think that you feel like they are trying to relax, maybe de-stress. Clarified by Ten of Pentacles again. So there could be some drama going on with their family or with a relationship or a past relationship. We also have supportive. How do they think you feel about them? So they do, you know, despite what's going on, whatever the situation could be between you both, they do feel as though you are supportive of them. Or they think you feel supportive of them. Even if it's not true from your perspective. But that's how they feel. We also have impressionable. So they think that you feel like they're being naive, or they think that you feel like they're being like too impressionable. And we also have pretentious. So for some of you, pretentious could be the right word. Like if that makes sense for you and this person and the situation, yeah, they could think that you feel pretentious. But for a lot of you, they kind of think that you feel like better than them. Above them doesn't really feel like the right word. But yeah, they do think you feel like you're better than them in some way. So now I'm going to get some messages from them to you, how they could possibly be feeling about you right now. How do they feel about you? Okay, so how do they feel about you? So we have, I'm worried you don't feel the same. So there is about over 200 cards in this deck I have, right? And so many similar cards to other groups have come out. But anyways, I don't know. So let's see, how do they feel? For some of you, they could be afraid that you are losing feelings for them. Maybe they're afraid of the potential of you moving on. For some of you, it just maybe be that they're kind of worried that maybe things won't be the same between you both. You have less piss off the neighbors, don't hold back. So it feels like for a lot of you, it feels like there could be some outside external interference when it comes to you and your relationship to them. But they, I can't remember what the message was. They could feel like you're kind of like pissed off or frustrated with the external, influences on your relationship together. But it almost feels like they kind of feel like there isn't much they can do about it. We also have pillow talk. So they actually feel like they can't talk to you like they used to talk to you. Maybe you guys used to talk a lot or talk candidly. Maybe you used to talk at a specific time. Yeah, but they do feel like communication between you both has been like delayed, interfered with. It's just not the same. For some of you, they could feel like it is temporary though. We also have self-love. So yeah, they do feel like you are loving on yourself right now, or maybe you're kind of like big on self-love anyway, or that's the kind of vibe they get from you. We also have, I don't think this is going to work. So, I mean, with the Five of Pentacles coming out, but also with the Four of Wands coming out, for some of you, they don't really know what the future is going to look like between you both. Three of Wands. A part of them does feel like it's not going to work, whereas there's another part of them that feels like it could possibly work, but it just kind of feels dependent on too many like external, things that are going on. So yeah, so they do, have doubts that it's going to work between you both. For some of you, they do feel like you are falling out of love with them, or like the love you had for them is just like not the same. We also have I want to make love to you. So they do desire kind of like being intimate with you. They do think about making love to you and, all that sexy stuff. We have blah, blah, blah. So they do feel like you aren't really listening to them, like aren't really willing to hear them out. For some of you, maybe this is more like a potential. You know how like it was kind of right by the Four of Cups. So it's like, imagine the dark cloud holding that cup and you're kind of like not interested, not wanting to hear what they have to say. So that's kind of like how they feel about you right now, or that's how they think you feel, or maybe they know for a fact that's how you feel. So we also have I can't hide my connection to you. So for some of you here, like they do feel as though they have to hide their connection to you, or they feel like this is something that they've had to do, or hide aspects of your connection if it's not about your relationship as a whole. But they do feel like it has been hard hiding. We also have I'm working hard. So they do feel like you are working hard. For some of you, they like feel like you are either currently working hard when it comes to them, or in the past you've worked really hard, or you've put in a lot of effort when it comes to them. We also have I've been through some stuff. So they do feel like they have put you through some stuff. They do feel like they have made certain situations tough on you. So yeah, they do feel like they have hurt you, And finally, we have I masturbate to the thought of you. So there is heavy desire for you on their part. They could feel like it is mutual, actually. And some of you actually drive them quite crazy in that regard, like in terms of your chemistry together. But yeah, for some of you, that's just a message that they have, though. But anyways, that is all I have for this group. I do hope it could make sense and be helpful. But I am wishing you all the best, all right? Please take care of yourselves. Bye.